Okay.
I had a discussion with her, and she said that was being investigated, and I found out there was absolutely no claim whatsoever to that story.
Okay.
She is South African. Her mother is South African.
Wow.
I don't know if it was cooked up. I have no idea. She was going so well in the pageant. They wanted to get her out and use any opportunity to get her out. That's how I see it.
And she says that case has been dropped.
That's what I was told.
We can go back to the conversation.
I don't have anything in paper, but I was told that.
That's what. Did you speak to her mum?
No, I spoke to her personally.
But is she in touch with her mother?
Yes, she is, and her father.
And her father,
Yeah.
and they are.
And they live in South Africa.
And they're well aware that she had that conversation with you, saying that the case had been dropped.
I don't know.
That's.
I don't know.
You have to help.
She has a Nigerian father. Mm-hmm. She is a dual citizen. She has a Nigerian passport. Makes her a Nigerian as well as South African. Mm-hmm. Based on the fact she's a Nigerian is all I'm looking after. High only crime is being half Nigerian and half South African, if you ask me. And that's where the xenophobia comes in. Mm-hmm. Well, first of all, like I said, 24 delegates were selected to participate. This was like two plus weeks ago to participate in Miss Universe Nigeria. Well, come last week, there was an issue with Chidimma in South Africa. She had to pull out of Miss South Africa because of her background, because she was half Nigerian, half South African, and there was a question mark about the ancestry of her mother, whether she was in Mozambique, et cetera, et cetera. So Friday, this is just today, Tuesday, right?
Today's Monday.
Today's Monday, sure.
So it goes into Tuesday, actually.
Okay, Tuesday, whatever. It's a week plus now, right? She pulled out of Miss South Africa pageants. Today's Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. But today's Monday.
Today's Monday.
Jesus Christ.
So we're going into Tuesday.
I've lost track of time now. So it's been a week now. Friday a week ago, I reached out to the national director of Miss South Africa, who happens to be a friend of mine, Stephanie, and I asked her, I said, Chidimma has been pulled out. She said, yes, there's uproar about her participating. She's been excluded. She's been in a private room away from the girls for fear of her family and her life. She's been kept away, and that she doesn't like what's going on. So I said, okay, can she participate in Miss Universe Nigeria? I said, well, she's not Nigerian. I said, trust me. She has a Nigerian father. She got to be Nigerian, I'm sure. You know, we all know how that works, right?
Yeah.
Somehow she reached out to me that day and indicated her willingness to participate in our pageant because she was being victimized because she was half Nigerian and half South African. So I gave her a look an olive branch and said, you know what, you can come. So long you meet these requirements, you must have a Nigerian passport, you have a Nigerian father, we do know that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Fill out the form, go through the screening process, which she did over the weekend with the guys in the office. She did all that stuff. And before then, there was a group of girls in the pageant who were saying, let Chidimma come participate. Let's extend our invitation to Chidimma. That came the same time we did the press release.
Well, let me come into that. That may be another thing to talk about. There are rumors around there that not all the girls are comfortable with the fact that she's coming now, because they feel strongly that, I mean, she had put in somewhere, and then maybe the organizers are giving her some preferential treatment. How do you clear that?
No, the girls wanted her to come. If it's a rumor, then I'll leave it as a rumor because I don't have any facts to that. But they did want her to come as well.
Yes, and hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, I don't know why you're not sleeping, but let's talk about it. So, Chidimma's identity document has been cancelled. Now, what this means is, first of all, she might get an opportunity to apply for a new one. But in order to apply for a new identity document, she will need valid documentation, which she doesn't have. And in order to have valid documentation, she would have to go back to her country, maybe get a visa or anything of that sort. But she can't go back to her country because she doesn't have traveling documents, including her passport, because her passport was done through the identity that has now been cancelled, or that has since been cancelled. Looking at the legalities, the channels used for that, unfortunately, they are closed for her. Because first of all, she has to be in the country legally, which she's not. Second of all, if she goes back to her country, she must come back via a visa, either a visiting visa, studying visa, spousal visa, any visa at all, of which unfortunately she doesn't qualify for. And the only way for her to leave the country is if she's deported, because if you don't have any documentation, honey, you are going to be deported. If you're in the country illegally and they find that you're in the country illegally, unfortunately you're going to have to be deported either to Mozambique. I think she will have a choice, obviously, either to be deported Mozambique or Nigeria, which I am sure she's going to choose Nigeria because the pastures seems greener that side. Okay, now this is what the law says. If your deportation is now going ahead, you may be transferred to Lindela in Gauteng. In reality, this takes time and you may be held in a police station or prison while awaiting transfer or direct deportation. Although you have several rights in detention, the conditions of Lindela and other detention spaces are not good. Just before being deported, you must be informed of the upcoming deportation. You may be deported using bus, train, or plane. Once you are deported, it is highly likely that you will be banned from returning to South Africa for up to 5 years. Even after this time period, the ban may negatively affect your chance of being granted a visa in South Africa, okay? Okay, let's look at the fact that identity document has been cancelled. If you are an immigrant in a country and you don't have a documentation or your documentation has been cancelled, that means chances are very high that you're gonna either be arrested or deported. Okay, because you are not there in the country legally now. If you commit a crime, they can't even trace you because you're no longer in the country legally. Now, Chidimma has a child or kids. Not sure because this girl can lie for the whole country. But she does have a child, okay? Obviously, the child has a birth certificate. Unfortunately, that birth certificate of that child will also have to be cancelled. See how far this goes? It will also have to be cancelled, unfortunately. Okay, I do feel sorry for the baby, even though the mother doesn't seem to care, because it seems like all she cares about is to be crowned Miss something instead of focusing on these legal matters that requires her attention. But it seems the only thing in her mind, honey, is that crown and that prize. Now, here we're looking at Chidimma is married. She did say she got divorced, but I highly doubt that, because the husband was still posting her when she was still contesting as Miss South Africa, when they were being sort of like arrogant about it. Now, here's Chidimma with an identity document, married to a Nigerian man. What's going to happen? The Nigerian man's going to get permit, because unfortunately you don't get citizenship same time, unless of course if they did shiga and he got the citizenship same time. But you actually wait like 5 years to get the citizenship. In the meantime, you do get permits for 3 years, and then you renew after that, or 2 more years, and then you get citizenship. So here we're looking at Chidimma's kids. We're looking at her relatives that might have acquired the citizenship via her, or any of her family members. We're looking at her father, because obviously her father was married or is married to her mother. So in this case, we're not only looking at Chidimma and her mother, we're looking at Chidimma, her mother, her father, her husband, her kids. It's a mess. All because she refused to withdraw on time and actually let this go. In closing, I don't think the department is willing to let this go, or will, feel sorry for Chidimma and like, no guys, Asimi again, 23 years, born here, been in Nigeria once, whatever. I don't think so. that would be sending a message, a very loud message to or fraudsters saying, look, man, if you've stolen someone's identity for 10 years, it's fine, it's fine. I don't think they're going to let this go. I think it would be an insult to the victims as well, to South Africa, to our law system. I think it would just be a big insult. So I don't think they're going to let this go. I think they're going to use this thing to make an example. Plus, they are very desperate to prove to people of South Africa that, this government is actually the government that you guys... I think they're also using this opportunity to just prove to South Africans as well, so I don't think they're going to let this go. I think they're going to use Chidimma or her parents as an example, and it's not going to be nice.